In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly why regulating your nervous system is vital for reality creation. And it's not just in manifestation, it's also really, really important for you living your best life. And this is why it forms one of the three main pillars of the work that I do with my clients, who are typically 6 or 7 figure business owners, entrepreneurs, or leaders in their field. So before I go into teaching you exactly how to regulate your nervous system, let's just touch upon how reality is formed, how we experience this external world. We exist in 3 separate planes of existence. Now, there are more planes, but these are the great planes. So these are the only ones that this channel is concerned with. The spiritual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane. And just like us, we have a spirit, mind, and body. All of these things exist in this now blip moment. Yeah. So it's not like layers of a cake. It's like the butter, sugar, and flour that go to create the cake. Yes. It's all here, all now. Now, the spiritual plane is infinite. This is where everything that has ever existed is already being created. Yeah. And we get to choose which element of creation we want to experience with our mental action in the mental plane. Without a directive from the mental plane, the spiritual plane, God, source, universe, reacts to our subconscious belief systems, our subconscious programming. And this is where your autonomic nervous system lives. So unless you are using your mind to direct God, source, universe as to what it is that you want, it just defaults to everything that is automatic to you. Yes, your nervous system is an autonomic response. As a human being, these responses just happen based upon the belief of who you are, and all of that lives in your DMN, which is a default mode network in a region of your brain, a network in your brain that determines who you believe yourself to be. And it's based on those beliefs that your physical autonomic nervous system, so your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system, respond. So if you find that you're in a constant state of high stress, a constant state of bracing for danger, of overwhelm, then it is because your sympathetic nervous system has hijacked your thinking mind. And when that happens, your thinking mind literally shuts down. You go into this survival state of being. And that survival state of being is very, 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 very narrow. You can only see danger. And what it also does is it perceives danger even when there isn't any. So obviously, as a conscious creator, you want the widest awareness possible. Because it's only through that awareness that your mind can then direct the spiritual plane into what it is that you want. Unless your conscious mind, your self-conscious mind, unless your self-conscious mind is able to think clearly, then everything goes back to the subconscious. So if you are running fear-based programs in your mind where everybody feels threatening, everything feels like a threat, you're telling yourself that you have to protect yourself at all costs, not only have you lowered your intellect because you literally can't think straight, but you are also reducing the ability of your reticular activating system to go out and find all the things that you want to bring into your life. Because conscious creation is all about awareness, right? So if your dysregulated nervous system is preventing you from actually noticing what's available to you, you're going to miss out on opportunities that are literally right in front of you. Your level of perception will be so narrow that you will not see the money that's sitting there, the relationship that is just sitting there, or the opportunities to heal if you're suffering from any physical ailment. If you're purely running in your subconscious, you won't be able to use the power of your directive mind to its fullest effect. And that's what manifestation is all about, right? It is the conscious direction, the conscious focus and attention that you give to things. If your attention is all based in fear, then that's what you're going to manifest more of. So the first thing you need to do is to relax. You need to quiet your destructive thoughts. You need to give yourself enough breathing space to make a different decision than the automatic one that might pop into your head. And one way of doing that is to just take a step back, to look at the situation and imagine that you are looking at yourself and just find curiosity in your reaction. Yeah, that is one way of doing it. You can just take a breath and go, oh, isn't it interesting that I had that thought? Just notice, just become the observer. When you become the observer, you move into more of the spiritual plane, yeah? If you're just observing everything that's happening, then you're viewing things from a different vantage point. So you will gain more awareness of the situation, yeah? You will actually be able to see the forest for the trees. And I guess that's a good time to go back to this, right? So you've got your superconscious mind, your self-conscious mind, and your subconscious mind. Like I say, your subconscious mind, that's the one that it just runs the programs that it's been told to run. It is purely objective. It just does what it's told. It doesn't place any judgment on what it's told. The superconscious mind also doesn't place any judgment on what it's told. It just goes, yep, I'll give you that, I'll give you that. This is closest to the unified field. This is, in the spiritual plane. Your superconscious mind lives in the spiritual plane, if you like. Yeah, your self-conscious mind lives in the mental plane, and your subconscious mind lives in the physical plane. That's not 100% accurate, but it's like good enough for you to understand more of what I'm saying, yeah? The subconscious mind, the autonomic nervous system, it literally is just following rules. It says, if this happens, then I do that. That's what it does. It's like a computer program. It doesn't care. It doesn't care whether it's true or not. It doesn't care whether it's right or not. Then your superconscious mind is also that. It knows that the reality that we see is just a projection of what our self-conscious mind is telling itself. Yeah, it knows that the external reality that we experience has been created in the mental plane by our thoughts, by our perceptions, by our belief systems. Yeah. And like it says here, our self-conscious mind, our thinking mind, is a creation center for universal mind. So, and that's why God's source universe just says yes, yeah? God's source universe just says yes. Whatever you tell it, it just says yes, because in the spiritual plane, it doesn't see polarity, it doesn't see duality, it is completely objective. It just goes, yep, absolutely. Yep. So if it hasn't got a directive from your conscious thinking mind, it just says, okay, what's happening in the subconscious? Let's just do that. I'm just going to say yes to that. So part of regulating your nervous system is reprogramming your subconscious programming, right? And that's why it's so important. So one way of regulating your nervous system is to become the observer, is to just enter a different plane of existence. If you're in this physical plane of existence, you can't really do anything. It is a frequency of like low awareness, yeah? It is not a high vibrational state. Whereas as you go up, the mental plane is a higher vibration and the spiritual plane is the highest vibration of all, right? And again, when I say vibration, it is akin to awareness. It is akin to consciousness, right? They're pretty much all much of a muchness. So when people say like, about high vibe states, you need to be in a high vibe state, it doesn't mean being ecstatic and happy and crazy. It means that you are higher aware, you are highly aware of what's going on. And when you gain that awareness, when you raise your vibration, then you have more opportunity to see things from a different vantage point. Your super conscious mind is beyond that of duality and polarity. Yeah. It knows that everything is the same thing. It knows that we are all one. Duality and polarity only exists on the mental and physical planes. So when you're stuck, when your nervous system is like completely locked on and fully engaged at all times, it reduces your ability to have directive power over God, Source, Universe, over universal mind, over the spiritual plane. So we need to relax. We need to get our nervous system to disengage. Our sympathetic nervous system isn't designed to be locked on. We're supposed to feel fear and release it again. We're supposed to, feel these emotions and then release them again. If you don't add a story to any emotion, then it dissolves away again in like 90 seconds. It's only the story that you attach to it that keeps it active. Yeah. So make it your mission to notice when you are operating from fear, when you are operating from a sense of you have to protect yourself. Because in manifestation, in reality creation, energetically speaking, unsafe energy is not attractive. And you know that for yourself. If you see somebody who is acting erratically, who doesn't feel safe to you, you are not going to want to go and approach them, right? And the same is true for money, for clients, for anything that you want, right? So you need to get yourself into a state of safety. You need to get yourself into a state of feeling stable, feeling secure. Because stability and confidence and security is attractive. That's an attractive energy. Like half the people that we are attracted to because they are charismatic, because they hold themselves with confidence. And you can't do that if your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight. So to become a magnetic person, to become a magnetic creator of your existence, getting a handle on your sympathetic nervous system and turning it from sympathetic nervous system into a parasympathetic state, which is the rest, digest, and receive state of being, is vital to living a life that you want to be living. Yeah. So, like I say, stepping away, becoming the observer, creating a distance between what's happening in your world and your reaction to it helps you to understand that, oh, okay, I'm just, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that Janet on the planet is so stressed right now? Okay, what is she telling herself? What story is she playing in her mind? What belief system has triggered this response? So that's one way of doing it. And then, of course, physically, you can release your sympathetic nervous system through exercise, through breathing exercises. Just breathing in and out, just calmly and longly. Like Heart Math Institute has a heart coherence breath work, which is literally breathing in for the count of 5, breathing out for the count of 5. So you're doing about 6 breaths per minute. And that tells the body, that slow breathing pattern tells the body that you are safe. Because that's what your nervous system needs to understand. You are safe. The only reason that it is stuck in this state of fight, flight, or freeze, and fawn, that was an extra one that was added, is because there is this perceived threat. But oftentimes the perceived threat isn't there at all. Yeah. So just know that you are safe. Do that breath work. Another thing that you can do is to put one arm here and another arm here say, I'm safe. It's okay. It's okay. You're safe. It's all right. Dude, it's all right. You're safe. I am safe. And you can just feel yourself relaxing. And if you don't feel yourself relaxing immediately, just keep doing it. I am safe. We are safe. It's okay. We're safe. Yeah. And then there's the havening technique, which involves, which part of it, right? There's a whole other bit that I'm not going to go into now, but part of it, the relaxation bit, is literally just rubbing your arms and just moving your eyes from side to side. Just release that stress response, yeah? Because what you're thinking might not be real. And chances are it's not. The reason that we feel stressed like this is because it is our body's way of letting us know that we are out of alignment with who our highest knows us to be. Your highest knows that you are infinite, but our little human bodies on the planet don't always get that messaging. So we need to teach our bodies that we are safe. In this moment, we are safe. And like I say, you can do that through exercise, breath work, all these techniques of rubbing and patting and I am safe, just saying I am safe. So that's your main task to do right now, is to just get yourself to a state of internal safety. Actually assess the level of threat by stepping outside of yourself just for a couple of minutes and saying, okay, is the house really going to fall down? Is the sky really falling? Because 9 times out of 10, it isn't. When you see numbers in your bank account that don't match the reality that you're creating in your mind, your body will go, eek. And that's your opportunity to say, oh, they're just numbers. That's just old. That's just old data. And you take it as data. You don't attach a story to it. You don't make that mean anything about you. You know that it's just an echo of who you used to be, of the belief systems that you used to hold. And you say things like, well, yeah, I don't need to judge that right now. Because good thing, bad thing, who knows, right? So give yourself that space. Give yourself time every day to really get into a very, very relaxed state of being. Don't pick up your phone as soon as you wake up. Don't watch the news 24/7. Just because it's there, it doesn't mean we have to engage with it. And that doesn't mean don't engage at all. It doesn't mean hide yourself in a little hole and don't be aware of what's going on. We do live in this physical plane. We do have to play the physical game, right? But drowning in the news is never good for anybody, because our little human brains are wired to seek danger. Yeah, they're wired to gain awareness of any danger that is there. So if you turn on the news and all you're bombarded with is this sense of fear, because fear sells, then you're not giving yourself a chance to find the peace of mind, to find the body relaxation that you need. So be aware of it, but don't let it rule you. Your nervous system is there to support you, but if you are locked in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, then it is ruling you, not supporting you. Like I say, your subconscious mind is then running the show and not your conscious thinking mind. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions whatsoever. And like I say, this is the work that I do with my clients who are typically 6-7-figure business owners, entrepreneurs and leaders in their field who feel stuck and want to get out of that stuck situation. They want to quantum leap into new states of wealth, new states of happiness, new states of peace. And I help them to do that. So if that is you, and if you want that help from me, then you'll find a link to get on a call in the description. And in the meantime, You're going to find another video just there. So click on that one next. Do the exercises, do the breathing, do everything that you can do to relax your nervous system. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.